My name is Kanya Getu. I am from South Africa, Johannesburg. I am the founding partner of an innovation company called SystemDex. It is a great honor and a privilege to be shortlisted for the Omega 2810 program. And I have received about a few questions that I need to answer. And I have a notebook on my lap and a pen just to verify a few things to make sure that I don't leave anything out on the answers that I have prepared. So the first question would be describing the product to 12-year-old. I think the best way I can describe the product to 12-year-old is the product is called Thumbs Up. It is a biometric coded security feature that is designed to collate information for the means of authenticating and verifying legible users. And the tool is also able to synchronize transactions that users ordinarily perform, but only bringing them to a much more secured and much more stable environment, basically. And I think the second question then is talking about if we're able to help some of the businesses in the accelerator program. Absolutely. Look, I believe that we are all a cell. It's based to collaborate. It's based to help each other, particularly for a startup company like mine. I've learned a lot to accept help from people and also offer help to people. So we would be absolutely available to assist other businesses in the accelerator. If we have to collaborate in any way, we're so open to that. And our strengths of the management team is we each come from various backgrounds. We were specialists in those areas. We have a mentor in our midst who has been part of the Tony Elumelu mentorpreneurship program. He was mentoring there. That's Menzi. We have TC, who's an IT specialist, who's our software engineer, and we have myself, who's a relationship manager and an operational specialist. So that's basically the biggest strength that we have. That Thumbs Up is our baby, and we put our focus and all of our energy into it, and we all love it equally. And I think our biggest weakness in our team is finances currently, because we are embarking on such a huge project, Thumbs Up, and just resources currently is definitely what our weakness is. Well, our professional network is based on some of the competition that we've been part of. We've been part of we were semi-finalists in the SLC Handman competition, which is a national competition. And we also have been awarded by IBM under their global entrepreneurship program. And that's like one of the biggest networks that we have. And we've been part of Innovation Bridge, few summits that have been happening nationally. And we've also been awarded as the semi-finalist at the Innovation Hub, where we are on the last leg of the competition. And I think the next question will be what is yet to be done for us to be able to launch the business. Well, currently our product is we just need to finalize a few software development stages, the last stages of our software development, and then we need assistance with the packaging of the product, and then we're ready to launch. Wow, how many days a week? Thumbs Up is our baby. And we literally, like every single day, we eat Thumbs Up, we breathe Thumbs Up, we speak Thumbs Up. So everywhere we go, we're always looking for different ways of how the world is doing things, of how different companies are doing different things, so as to find out what it is that we can incorporate into our space to make the product better. So 24/7, we are always dedicated to the product. Everywhere we are, at the back of our minds, we have the product. And also, if we are, so what's the next question, I believe, is will our product be something that people love? Absolutely. And I think the beautiful thing about a product is that we're not bringing people into a space that they are not familiar with. As much as the biometric coding software is not so popular because they've just introduced it in our country, it's still something that is growing. But I believe that everybody wants to be secured. People love being in a secured environment, and what we are providing is a software security program that will give them comfort when they're transacting and their day-to-day purchasing activities. Our product is there. If they're transacting in an educational institution, our product is there. And if we're running elections, people want to feel safe that whatever activities that they are engaging in of national importance are secured. They want to feel that there's credibility there. So that's what we're providing. So people will definitely, absolutely love our product. Wow. Thumbs Up is basically very easy to replicate because of its nature. It's pliable. It's a tool that you can take and apply in any industry. And I believe that currently at this day and age, technology is by far the most evolving space you can ever be in. And in terms of replicating, we're providing a tool for processes that are already in place. So it's not going to take long for us to get into the market. And it's just a matter of shifting people's minds from a manual labor process to a more digitized and more efficient and more trustworthy process. So it will definitely be easier to replicate because we are just taking some of the processes and we're just simplifying them. And then in terms of the visionaries, absolutely, because we have a lot of products that are pending, that are on the pipeline with more advanced technology, and we just want to brace ourselves and just take it one innovation at a time. So we're definitely the innovations and the visionaries of the future, because we want to actually be a leading female African female led company servicing in high tech softwares. The entire Africa and even the world perhaps may be able to adopt some of our innovations, and if we need resources, perhaps they can also be able to support some of our innovations. So I believe that we're definitely visionaries of the future, and our mission really is to just provide software solutions to Africa, and we just don't want to take impossible for an answer. We want to provide the answers for all those solutions that all those problems that people think are impossible to solve. Okay, so this leads us to our next question. Why isn't somebody doing this already? Africa still remains one of the most skeptics of technology. And I'm sure you guys would read the news and hear it on BBC, CNN, that a couple of our African countries have had to revisit the voting polls because of irregularities during the process. Again, this is something that Thumbs Up will be able to do, because Thumbs Up is very diverse. We've got different phases that we're even planning on launching the product. So the technology also, another reason is that it's still fairly new in our country, and people are very skeptical of it. As a result, we only have two economic sectors that are using the technology. We have the financial sector, which only verifies the thumbprint to confirm that yes, this is the person who owns the accounts for whatever payments and transactions they want to do. And our second sector is the Department of Home Affairs, the public service, where a person goes in and just authenticates with a thumbprint to get any form of identification. So this is something that we're also hoping to integrate with our product. And And I believe that the next question is about the growth rate. I think because we are introducing a product on processes and systems that are already in place, the growth rate is great because we're not bringing people into an unfamiliar territory. We are just taking what they're already doing, their transactions, and we're simplifying them. We are digitizing them. So we're expecting a huge growth rate. And in terms of a product evolution, look, thumbs up, we have prepared at least 3 different phases of the product. The first phase is the biometric coded security feature, which will just authenticate and verify the eligible user, which will collate the data and update personal information or personal data of this eligible user. The second phase is to then integrate that with our Independent Electoral Commission. We're currently having a few talks with them into having them partner with us on one of the processes that are having very soon, where we'll be able to take care of the first process, authenticating and verifying the eligible user or the voter and updating their personal information so we can hand over the data that is updated back to the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa. And then I believe the third phase is to then get involved in transacting. Now we realize that people carry cards. There's huge issues with fraud, cards being stolen. But with a biometric coded feature, anybody can then access a specific bank account where they will be able to transfer the funds to, and that's all they'll be using to transact. With just at the tip of a thumbprint, you go to any retail store for any purchases, any ticket purchases, and that's what you'll be doing. So I believe that so far, that's the basic evolution cycle of the product. Currently in our country, we've got different locations where we are struggling to get internet connectivity. And because now the certain phases of our product, we will have to partner with our network service providing companies, like your national networks of service providing companies, Cell C, MTN, Vodacom, Telkom. And we are anticipating that we may have challenges performing or operating in some of those locations due to lack of network. So we're still trying to figure out how we can go around that and find different ways of still being able to operate, but perhaps using a different vehicle to transact. And then also the pushback now, because I think I've mentioned this, we are in a space where there's a lot of skepticism, and we've had pushback already in terms of the process we want to achieve. We've got, for an example, a certain educational institution that wants to digitize the way they elect the school governing body, the SRC. And the way in which we want to do this is to start from registration with the thumbprint, register each student, and the same software will be installed in residential premises of the school, which will then be a security measure because nobody who is unauthorized will be able to enter. And then what we want to do is we want to now take that platform, the data, and integrate it onto a voting platform where each student then will be able to vote. And there's been cases that before, people who are not even students at certain educational institutions were able to vote. So these are some of the solutions that we're providing, and we are definitely anticipating that a few months from now, as soon as we're done and we're ready to roll out with the product, we will receive those challenges. Something surprising we have done. I was part of the observers of the 2016 elections under our Independent Electoral Commission. And it's amazing what I found when I was observing our elections, that it's so easy for the manual process of elections to be compromised. And if I can even give you one example, we found used ballot papers just a few days ahead of the elections. And it's funny because now these are the challenges that we have, but when we're bringing in a more digitized, a much more credible solution, people just don't want to be part of that. And I'll take my chances on this one. I think you do know that each thumbprint of each individual is different, and even though they may be identical twins, right? I'm sure you know that one. But I'll take my chances with blockchain, which is currently the name that's doing the rounds. It is, a security feature in the digital space, and it offers paramount security. And I think what you did not know, that if any transaction is done on a software that is backed by blockchain, you cannot amend it after that transaction is done, and can certainly not even delete that transaction. So if anything is done, the recording is there to prove that that transaction did indeed take place at whatever time that it took place in. Sure. How much money? Well, when we did our forecasting and our research, because the industry will want to get onto, if we were to take now the digitized voting process, the Independent Electoral Commission receives a budget of about 5 billion rands just for the voting process alone. Forgive me. And when we look at our processes, we will only be targeting only 10% of that, which means that we would have to subcontract with them in order to receive that 5%, the 10% of that, sorry. And when we partner with the IEC, we will basically be their main subcontractors, and they can only share with us then. We are willing, rather, to have 10%, and the conversation is underway as we speak. And also, on the second phase of our product, which is the more of the transaction phase, there is actually a tool out there that's doing this already, but they're currently doing it with just the scanning of a barcode. And a person can make a payment using their phone, and you just scan the barcode on the slip. But we want to take it to another level, because cell phones can be stolen and the information can easily be accessible, but nobody can really steal your thumb unless, well, they cut it off. But that's basically what we want to do. So if we were to look at that transaction space, we've estimated about 20 billion rands that we could potentially make in a year, because everybody then has a bank account, so if we then get an agreement with Visa, and we just take care of purely that software part and operations of that entire process, and the maintaining of that process, and the taking care of the service, we're looking into at least 20 billion rands a year. And then if we were to then break down in terms of costs now for our customer acquisition, we forecasted about 1.5 million rands. This is now because, considering that thumbs up is broken down into different phases. So the first phase that we would love to concentrate on and focus on as an entry now into the industry will be the biometric coded security feature and the collation and updating of data. And when we would, if we were to then list that software to a particular company, we're looking into the 1.5 million rands just to install the software and maintain the operations of collation of data, the organizing of everything that we will need. Yeah, we have already raised funding. We currently are part of the IBM GAP 2017 program, and then where they also giving us $1,000 monthly for 12 months, and on infrastructure and any feature that we need to put into the product, and making sure that it is pliable to becoming what we want the product to become. Basically, we're not restricted in terms of how innovative we want to make the product. And we are currently also semi-finalists in the Innovation Hub GEP program for 2017, where 3 million rands is up for grabs, and we are about a number of 4 entrepreneurs. So we're already in the pool basically of the 3 million rand. So right now we're on the last leg of the competition, where we will find out who is getting how much of that 3 million. We're hoping and crossing our fingers that we are the first people there. And who is doing what in the team? Well, we're a team of 3 people. Just to sum up our activities, I basically handle the day-to-day operations of the company and the managing director of the company and the pitch of the company, and the products that we have. And then we have Tian Shan, who's our software engineer, and we have Menzi, who's our strategist. He's the one that goes out there and source different opportunities so that we can take full advantage of those opportunities. So currently, those are the people that make up the team. So we have TC, who is our engineer. We have Menzi, who sources the different opportunities, and I'm the one then who just puts oil on the engine and makes sure that the opportunities are well taken advantage of, and we can squeeze out everything that we can from them. This brings us to our next question. Yes, we are meeting customers, but because we are only on the development stages of our product, but we as much as we're on the development stages of our product, we are fully aware of what our customer segment is looking like. And the few partners that we have engaged with, which are the biggest basically, is in terms of partnering and subcontracting with them, because we need the certain lag of their processes to be swapped with our product basically. So, and currently really the way we're meeting them is telephones and just sitting down in boardrooms and having one-on-one face-to-face meetings. And are we hoping to change? I think change is inevitable, especially when you are in the technology space. There's something new every day. And I think one thing we've learned on the journey from the beginning of Thumbs Up just being an idea, we've had to change the direction, change the course, is that when it comes to implementation, things are not always working out as you have them in your mind. And then as you're coding, you find that there's certain things that will restrict you in terms of workflow, in terms of operations, which makes sense when you think about it. So we're definitely hoping to change, and I think change is one thing that will make sure that we sustain the product. We make sure that the product is infinite, is through change. So we're definitely looking into changing and evolving with time into our product. What are we going to do next? I think that we are definitely going to continue providing the African continent with, digital and high-tech software solution-based, innovations. And I think also, because we're in South Africa alone, we were amazed to find out that we are the least digital and technology savvy country in the entire Africa. And this has been one of our drives, to make sure that we part of different interventions and making sure the people are involved in innovation, they're involved in technology. So we are going to continue. We've got a few products, in the pipeline, but we want to take this journey one product at a time. And we are also part of one of our technologies is being incubated by Germany currently under the World Food Program. So this just goes to show that no matter how much skepticism we meet up, we are not going to stop, because we want to make sure and want to see Africa getting involved in the digital space. There's a lot that we have to offer in that space, and I think that we have just begun truly, and we're not giving up. We are soaring into new heights, greater heights each year, and we're progressing. And also I take pride in the fact that System Dex is an African woman-led company in the technology space that is so immensely being influenced by man. And there's different conversations they have every day. Should a woman be in a management position in the digital space. These are conversations that the world is having. Let them have that. I want to be the one making sure that I head the technology industry in Africa, and I take on some of the greatest companies and the biggest companies in collaborating with them. If they're willing to assist us in any way, resources, advice, we're more than happy to do that. So we're open and we're just ready to take on the world. From me, Sikanya Singetu, from Johannesburg, South Africa, it's been such a great honor and pleasure having this opportunity as a shortlisted candidate of the Omega 2018 program. And I hope I have answered your questions to the best of my ability. In Xhosa we say, Nisaleni kahle, which means goodbye.